Hi guys, long time no see. I am your girl Chelsea from Pages of Chelsea. It's a new year. I know it's taken me the whole month of January to get this video out, but I'm here. January 2025 has been something, guys. It has been something. So let's go ahead and do a reintroduction. Probably last time you saw me was when I did Bookmas 2024. Did not make it to 25 days, which is so sad. I think I underestimated that challenge, but I got more than halfway through. So those are up, going over my favorite books or books that I read in 2024, but let's talk about 2025. My name is Chelsea. I live in Dallas, Texas. I am a mom to an almost toddler. My baby will be 2 this year. I am a wife and a stay-at-home mom. Just kind of turned out the way my life went. Was not planned. I started reading when my daughter came home from the NICU. She was born at 22 weeks. So after spending 7 months in the NICU, and coming home and being at home with me while I worked, I realized that mama needed an outlet. Mama needed something that was just her, a way that she could be entertained, because not always TV was something. So books kind of turned into this thing to help me have balance in my life, you know? So that's how I got started. So technically this is only my second year reading. And a little bit about what I read, how I digest stories. I do audiobooks and I do ebooks. I was not an ebook girly. So if you're not an ebook girly and you're trying to figure out like, how do I become an ebook girly, or like physical books is where it's at, I didn't like that I had to like keep up with the book, make sure I remember what page I was on, keep up with bookmarks, folding stuff. I had a baby, she was grabby. So I just was like, that seems like a lot. So I first started reading on my phone on the Kindle app, because that was what I knew. And then I found out I had been paying for Kindle Unlimited for 2 years and didn't realize it. Apparently I had tried this journey before. So my thing was, I'm gonna read on my phone until the Kindles go on sale. And if I read on my phone, religiously, then I will get a Kindle. But I have to be able to read and digest material. And I read on my phone and it went better than it had in previous, because I had tried the Nook, I had tried the apps, and I just couldn't get into books that way. I was always a paper book girl, like paperback, hardback. Like and don't get me wrong, I still like the smell of a fresh book. I like the feel of a book, but just where I am in my life currently, it's not really vibing with me. So I got my Kindle, Mother's Day 2024. And if you want a Kindle unboxing and review, then you can. I definitely have a video on my channel for that. Got it May for Mother's Day, because that's when they had a sale, and I convinced my husband to like get it. I went through quite a few stickers, different stickers for different seasons of my life. Some of these are from different packs, but I got those from Amazon. Now, what I will say about the Kindle is, when I bought the Kindle, I kept ads on my Kindle. It was $20. It really didn't bother me. And then for Christmas, yes, it was Christmas, I asked my husband to just go ahead and pay the $20. So now I don't have ads, which is very useful if you're showing what you're reading. And because I decided I was going to do this more consistently, then it was a good investment. So that is how I do it. Okay, so I also, as I said, I'm ebook girly. It's typically how I digest information. I also do audiobooks. Now, when I first started, I was doing Audible. I was paying the subscription, but then I said that I wanted to read more, just because you only get 1 credit with Audible, and it wasn't enough for me. So I let Audible go. Now, what I will say is, currently, this is January 30th. Right before Christmas, they had a 3 months for 99 cents, and I qualified for that because my account had been canceled for like more than 6 months. So I got that. So through February, I'll get a credit for 99 cents, and I'll use it, and then I'll cancel it. Because where I really get most of my books from, and really if you follow me on any of my social medias, TikTok, Instagram, or on here, the hashtag that's always with 99% of my videos are books on a budget. So I do Libby. I have 4 library cards. I have 4 library cards that I live in Dallas, so I have the City of Dallas library card. I live close to Cedar Hill, so I have Cedar Hill's library card. I also live really close to Grand Prairie, so I have Grand Prairie's library card. And Houston also lets you have a library card if you are a Texas resident. So Grand Prairie as well, they let you have it, and Cedar Hill. But Grand Prairie and Houston, I applied online and got digital card numbers. So I have Libby, and I have all 4 cards on my Libby account, and when I'm looking for a book, it searches all 4 libraries and tells me who has it, who has the shortest wait, and that's kind of how I look for books that I want to read. They do audio and ebooks, so I have it set up on my Libby account that if I get an ebook, it goes straight to my Kindle and my Kindle app. So it'll go straight there once it's time to read it. And if I do an audio listening book, I know that's not correct, guys, but that's kind of where my brain is. If I'm listening to a book and I get it from Libby, I just listen to it on my phone, which is fine. You just connect your headphones or play it out loud. It's fine. And then my second favorite, well, my really favorite one for audiobooks is Hoopla. Not all libraries have Hoopla, but I like Hoopla because they tend to have, it's just easier to rent audiobooks from Hoopla. So that's my first choice, how I find books. And then the third thing, and it's the only thing I pay for when it comes to books, are Kindle Unlimited. Because, and this is kind of just like an introduction, like what kind of reader I am. Because I like indie books. I like books that everybody talk about, but also I'm also a mood reader, and I like to give authors who are not as popular a chance. So I do pay for Kindle Unlimited. It's about $15 a month. And for me, it makes sense. So I always try Kindle Unlimited first because I'm paying for it. If it's not on Kindle Unlimited, then that's when I go Libby. And if Libby doesn't have it, then I go Hoopla. And if they don't have it, then I typically don't read it. Because I don't want to. It's not that I don't want to. I don't have the funds to buy 6, 7, 8, 10 books a month. I just don't have it. So that's typically how if I would love to support. I would love for my office to have shelves and places for me to put physical books and the budget to buy ebooks. But the best way that I have found out that I can contribute to authors is to read Kindle Unlimited books, library books, and share them with people that may not would have known about these books. So the next way I read books are Stuff Your Kindle days. Okay, so I found out about these last year, and basically there are days when authors / publishers have events, kind of like like a yard sale kind of thing where they get together and they decide that their books are going to be free for 24 hours, 48, 72. It's always in the description. And at the time recording of this, we had one on the 28th, which was a romance day. They have those several times a year. I think last year when I started in May, I think I saw it like 2 or 3 times between May and December. May and June, like December 31st. So those are always very similar. Not all the books are the same because there's so many books. It's like 3 million books that gets published a year. So there's so many books on that list. At the time of this recording on my Kindle, I have I saw this. Let's see. I don't want this. I have 698 books, and 698 of those are I'm sorry, about 20 of those are Kindle Unlimited books, and so about 670 something are books that I've gotten free through the Kindle Unlimited, through the Stuff Your Kindle days. And I know what you're thinking, Chelsea, are you gonna read 670 books? No. My mindset is, one, I am choosing in 2025 to read those books, to put those in rotation. The second thing is, if push comes to shove, because 2025 is starting to be a year, we don't know how it is. If push comes to shove and I have to cancel my Kindle Unlimited because it's no longer in the budget, I still want to have options. That is how I think of Kindle Unlimited. As long as I have Wi-Fi and a way to charge my Kindle, I have 670 books that I can choose from. That is how I see it. So I always participate in the Stuff Your Kindle Day. I always look. Just because you look doesn't mean you always will find something for you, but it's a great place to build your digital library and to give authors who are smaller, first-time writers, none of the big names, a chance. And like I said, you can do this on the app. And Stuff Your Kindle Days are not just an Amazon thing. They're on Apple. They're on Google. I've seen them on Kobo. They're a great resource. And I will be posting some more on YouTube about how to manage those and how to work those. There are some on my TikTok already, but I will put some on YouTube. In February, we have 10 Stuff Your Kindle Days, which is the most that I've ever seen in a month. And they're long too. 2, 3 days, 14 days, 10 days. Like, they're very long. So yes, that is how I think of it. If you have to start cutting your budget, and outside of library cards, you can't do Audible, you can't do Kindle Unlimited, you can't spend $6, $7, $4 on a book repeatedly in a month, Stuff Your Kindle Days are the best way to be able to still have this as entertainment, to still be able to enjoy books. Now, we'll say this, not all books on Stuff Your Kindle Days are gems, okay? Some of them I've read, I was like, what am I reading? But the point is, I gave it a shot, and I found more gems in my Stuff My Kindle Day books than I ever thought. Like, some of the books that I found are gems, and some of my favorite series is just because the first book was free, or the fourth book was free, and I had to go hunt down the first one to see if I liked it. So that's me. Books on a budget. How can I still have access to reading? How can I let you guys know how you can have access to reading without spending $15 to $30 on a book? Now, let's get a little bit more in depth about me and how I read. So, I give myself at minimum 4 books. My goal is to do 4 books a month. And I bet you're thinking, 4 books? Chelsea, there's people out here reading 10, 8, 27 books a month. As I said, I have almost a toddler. I am married. I like other forms of entertainment. I am a busy woman. So I give myself 7 days to finish a book. If I cannot finish a book in 7 days, then I'm forcing myself to do something. In 2025, I am learning how to say, this book is not for me, because that's how you get in reading slumps. And if you're new, reading slumps is you just don't want to read. Something either was so good you don't think anything can beat it, or something was just so bad and so not for you where you were just like, I don't know if I want to do this again. Like, nothing satisfies you. So I'm learning how to DNF, which means do not finish books that I don't do. So I give myself 7 books. My reading goal for 2025 is 60 books. I know you're thinking, there's 52 days in a year. It's 60 books because some months, some weeks I read a little bit more. If I finish it really fast, if it's a book that, or a series I'm really into, give me like 2 or 3 days. I'm staying up to finish that book, if you know what I mean. So I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room there. And it's winter months, not really getting out as much, not as busy outside of the house. So I think 60 is very doable. Also, in 2024, I stopped reading at the end of November because I wanted December to enjoy, like Thanksgiving-ish, because I wanted to enjoy the holiday season, and I kind of wanted to give myself a break to look forward to reading. And last year that seemed to work for me. I did read a little bit, but it was kind of just like, if I felt like it, if I finished the book, if I didn't, it was fine. Which reading should always be that. It's not really about the goal. It's more about enjoying it. But the reading goal for me is to keep me motivated, I would say. Just because if I read a book and I get distracted by something else, then I get distracted. So it's kind of a goal. Something else I'm doing in 2025 is the ABC challenge. So that's when you read 26 books. You can do it outside of your book challenge or within it. I'm doing mine within it, but I have to read 26 books that starts with every alphabet of the letter. So a book for A, B, C, D, E, etc. Just to push my horizons. Just because I typically seem to go for billionaire romances, romanticities. I love me a good romance fantasy, just plain fantasy books, and just romance. So I'm trying to push myself out. I'm pushing for urban fiction this year, a couple more thrillers. I did a few last year, but a couple more thrillers and a couple more urban romances, and then just black fantasies in general. Last year I was just reading whatever looked good, but I kind of want to be more aware of what I'm picking. So that's just a little bit about me. I don't want this to be too long, but that's kind of how I read. And if you feel like I'm someone that's realistic, that doesn't make you feel bad for not reading hundreds of books or 10 or 20 books a month, and you're like, that's me, I can fit it in my schedule, I want a realistic reading buddy, then I am your girl. But the next video is going to be a wrap up of January. I know I didn't do a TBR video for January. It's been crazy, but I'm pretty much done. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you for joining me. I will see you in the next video. Happy 2025, and let's enjoy reading. Bye, guys.